Welcome, everybody, to my mobile home life. My name's Kimberly, and I want to tell y'all about my crazy day. As you can see in my thumbnail, kind of what the video is about. Yes, I woke up this morning, went to go make my coffee this morning, and guess what? Well, at least enough water was in the coffee pot to make my coffee at least. But my water pipes had frozen, and hey, I'm a big girl. I can admit when it was my fault, and yes, it was. It was my fault. Last night I was just tired, exhausted. I had been door dashing, so we'll start there. Last night, where I had been door dashing, just getting extremely tired. I mean, I'm 51, y'all. I get like that. I get extremely tired, and so anyway, yes, I laid down, fell asleep, forgot to get my water dripping, through my faucets and stuff. So, and normally I do. I mean, I really do. Normally, I don't forget this, but we're human. I mean, we make mistakes, and I ended up falling asleep watching a movie. Again, I was so tired. What I'd worked, and so anyway, flash forward. It's this morning. I get up and I go to the kitchen. I started my cup of coffee because I already had coffee water in the coffee pot. It was already pre-put in there. I have a Keurig machine, and it makes 1 cup at a time. So anyway, the storage unit part in the container in the coffee maker, it was already full. Thank goodness. I'm glad of that. But anyway, I started to turn on the kitchen water I forgot what even reason, but no water. And might as well laugh than cry. I mean, you get it. If you've been there before, you get it. Because you get to the point. Have you ever been so frustrated with yourself? So mad at yourself inside, like it's my fault. I know I did this. I forgot to leave it dripping last night. But you're so aggravated. You don't know how to react. I mean, you're just kind of, your mind's boggled. Your mind's kind of at that point blown out of proportion because you're like, what just happened to me? All because of a simple mistake. I just didn't leave my water dripping. But anyway, excuse me. So then, after I seen every faucet in the house, everything, bathrooms, both bathrooms, kitchen sink, it was all froze. I thought, I got my coffee, come back, sit on the couch, and like, really, Kim, really, at that point I was stressed. And I mean, you get stressed with yourself. We all do. We're human. If you don't get stressed with yourself, good for you, because I do. And I know other people that, they get aggravated to themselves because, again, I know I did it. But didn't mean to, by no means. I mean, I didn't want my pipes to freeze. But then I sat there with my cup of coffee, drinking it, and I thought, what am I going to do? First of all, do I call a plumber? See, of course, my dad's gone. And my dad, before me and Michael got married, my dad helped me with stuff like that. I'd be like, and my daddy was my backbone, as far as my parent. And so if my water pipes had froze, I'd just get on the phone, Daddy, I need some help here, I've got a situation that happened. And of course, my daddy was understandable, and he'd been like that right there. So anyway, and of course, after Daddy, Michael would take care of it. So I'm just, this morning I just sat there with my coffee, drinking it, and I'm just like, I've never dealt with a problem like this. What do I do? I know I physically cannot get up there and crawl under there and unthaw these pipes, for one. And then, and I've had it happen because me and Michael has had, here where I live at now, the pipes here to actually freeze and bust. It's been several years. We've been very fortunate. Last year, been very fortunate. And again, I'll be a big girl. It was my mistake. I got tired and fell asleep and forgot to leave them dripping. But I just kept thinking, what am I going to do? Usually they handled it. And of course, both of them's gone. And they're not here to help me. So I kind of like, do I call a plumber? What do I call? And I sat frustrated with myself. And a friend of mine, a good friend, she lives in Maine. I text her and her husband. I'm like, y'all deal with water pipes a lot, I was telling her, hey, I'm single, of course, now, and they always handle it, and I'm not sure what to do. Do I call a plumber? What's any advice, since y'all are from the north, And anyway, we talked about it, and I went to find my plumber's number, got on Google my plumber's name, and it was out of service. I know they are still working. I know they're still in service. My plumber only lives a half a mile, or not even a half a mile. I can look out the door and see my plumber's house. That's how close. It was just, I wasn't going to walk out there, and I'll explain that in a minute, and just go to his house this morning. I thought, okay, I'll deal with it in a little while. I'll get a reason. I'll say that in a minute. But I want to get back. I don't want to cut too far ahead yet. But I couldn't find his number. It said it's disconnected. So I don't know what the deal is about the search, if I didn't put in the right something. I don't know. But so that was like 7:30 this morning, 7:30. And so I thought, okay, I can't even find the plumber's number. If I have to, I'll go to his house later in the day. But at this point, I can't find his number to even call and be like, what do y'all guys charge for, helping me unthaw the house? Do I even have enough money on me? You're worrying and stressed, and with me being a single mom, were my spouse, and, prior to that, my dad, that was my backbones, my dad, my spouse. Where they handle that, being the man of the situation, and I'm not saying against woman power or anything, I think women can do a lot of things, but they always handle that stuff for me. So I'm just kind of had a mental emotional moment this morning, like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do without water, by no means. And yeah, mobile homes, that's a common problem. Pipes freezing, it can happen. We have really dropped cold in Kentucky. I know in a video, a little over 2 weeks ago, you were seeing me in shorts. Now we're, going, I think last night hit close to, and don't quote me 100%, but almost, it was in almost the single digits. It was like maybe 12 degrees last night, because I'm very close to getting the single digits. And at the end of this video, I've got a surprise about Kentucky. Unusual, too. Very unusual surprise. If the weather says, what will happen, if the weather happens, what they say will happen. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. But, okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about today, though. And then I'll let y'all know at the very end. That's kind of my end surprise, the Kentucky weather, which, you could Google it right now if you wanted to, but it might be more fun me telling it since I live in Kentucky. I'm here in Kentucky. But we're getting ready to get some crazy weather again. I always say Mother Nature here in Kentucky is bipolar. And I honestly think she is. Kentucky weather is some of the strangest weather I've ever heard of across the United States. We here in Kentucky, a lot of times we laugh about it because the weather's so crazy. It can change. One minute be one thing, another minute be another completely different, type of weather. But anyway, on to my story that would happen. Oh my goodness. I didn't know what to do. Again, I couldn't find my plumber's number. It said it was unlisted. And I'm like, my plumber's number ain't unlisted. He's a very popular plumber here. So anyway, and again, he just lives up the road from me. So, I mean, I could get a hold of him, take care of that situation. I wasn't worried about the number. So since I couldn't find the number, Caleb had a dentist appointment at 10 o'clock this morning. And yes, no cavities. Caleb's great. He has never had a cavity in his life. So, yes, that was a happy mama moment. That part I could do a happy mama dance. So I was very happy about that. But I thought, hey, we got to go to the appointment. I grabbed us something at McDonald's, for breakfast. And on the drive to Bowling Green's, where our dentist, he's got a pediatric dentist. So Bowling Green's where it's at. And so I left here and I thought, I'll just worry about the water when I get back. One thing at a time, don't stress, which can't deal with, don't stress about it. And that's just what I thought. Okay, I'll contact my plumber when I get back, deal with whatever. Well, so anyway, again, I took Caleb to his appointment. That was like 10 o'clock this morning. So it was between 11:30 when I got back to where I live at in my town. And my grown son, which I've got 4 grown kids, and then my little boy, Caleb, is 9. He lives with me. And which 4 grown kids has moved out. I mean, they're grown. They have their own lives. So my son, Matthew, he contacted me. And he said, I explained about the water. He's like, oh, I've got a heater. And I didn't know he even had a heater. Well, actually, it was his dad, my ex-husband, my first husband's heater. And he's like, well, if you come out here and pick me up, take me to your house. I'll unthaw the pipes. And I'm just like, oh, great. I didn't even know Matt had something to be able to help out with, like a heater to help unthaw. Because, I mean, here in Kentucky, today, it was like 33 degrees. So if it unthawed, it was just barely going to do it. So I'm like, I don't know if Mother Nature is going to help out, if the good Lord is willing to help out, to make the temperature high enough to unthaw my pipes, or if, some kind of heating system's got to be used. So I didn't realize Matt, though, had the heating system. So Matthew, I went and picked him up and brought him out here to my house. And he put the heating system, got it unthawed. Every bit of it, one end to the other. So all my pipes, as you can see it dripping in, as I showed in the video there, click. All my pipes is unthawed. And Matt was able to, get it took care of for me. And thank to the good Lord, because I had a few praying for me about this one, that my pipes didn't bust. Because, I mean, you've been there, or hopefully, I guess maybe you have been there. I ain't going to say you have. Maybe you've never experienced freezing water pipes. Maybe you've never experienced pipes busting. I have experienced both. And the water pipes freezing, of course, you don't have water, so it's a hindrance to your life. With no water, you need water. So it's good to get them unthawed. But a lot of times when they unthaw, they might bust. And I was just kind of concerned because it has happened here. Again, Michael, he took care of that situation, but it did happen. The pipes, when they unthawed, they busted. And Michael, he took care of it. He put heat and tape on it back years ago when that incident happened years ago. So anyway, he, thank goodness they didn't bust, because I'm like, how expensive is that going to be if it happens? Because I'm not sure what the materials would be, how much pipe you need, if I needed somebody to actually come in, if Matt could do it, or if I need to hire a plumber to do it. I mean, that can lead to a little bit of money. So, but thankfully to the good Lord, that didn't happen. My pipes did not freeze and bust, they froze. They did freeze. They just didn't bust when they come unthawed. So I'm so thankful for that. And, that's one thing about, I live on a hill that's a mile tall. So when you start on my road, you have to come up 1 mile on top of the hill. And I live at the very top of the hill. I mean, I've got a great location. I've never been picky on my location of where I live at in this mobile home. I love it. Got beautiful scenery. If you ever, if you've watched my previous videos, you've seen my scenery in my front yard and, so, my views and stuff. So, yes, I have a beautiful area as far as, the views around. But I have an old mobile home. It's a 2016 by 80 Clayton, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. And, I've had to do last year a lot of remodeling on it. So where I live on top of a mile-long hill, the wind catches everything. I mean, the wind just blows real hard here. Just shoo, shoo, shoo. So anyway, so a lot of times that makes it worse where I live at, on pipes freezing and busting. And so that's a concerning thing that, sorry, if you heard the Christmas, little bitty clip of a Christmas music in the background, it's on my, it was actually given to me for Christmas. I have a digital photo frame, and it has sound on it, and a picture I put with Teddy has Christmas music in the background. So anyway, so that's the reason it kind of comes a little clip of that, and you heard the Christmas music. But excuse me. So here it is easy for my pipes. My underpinning's great. I had some friends come up last year. I hired a friend to put my underpinning back perfectly under here. And when you live in a mobile home, again, it catches wind, yes, easier to freeze, I think. But I live on top, again, mile-long hill, and all the north wind comes through here and it kind of makes it worse for me with my mobile home, and I guess you could say my mobile home life, because all the wind, through here. And so it can freeze easier, but I've got very fortunate, I ain't gonna say lucky, but fortunate, blessed by the good Lord that I haven't had no major issues with it. This is the first time it's frozen. Again, it was my fault. I forgot. I really forgot just to turn the pipes on, or turn the faucets on, let the water drip. But I mean, we're all human. We make mistakes. We're not by no means perfect people in the world. So we can make a mistake once in a while. I fell asleep, made that mistake. But normally I do leave my water dripping, and it's dripping right now, as you can see in the video, that little clip of video I put up there. But, oh man, it's just one of those days, though, you just kind of like, I wish I didn't have to get out of bed in the first place. It's just part of living a mobile home life, now being by myself, living in a mobile home, well, my son too, but I'm just saying, without a husband, without my dad's help, I had to kind of make an adult decision I've never made before. I just didn't know what to do, which my other grown son come and help me. But I just remember waking up this morning feeling so overwhelmed, like, I don't know what to do, y'all. Just because of the fact that I always had help with it, and this time I didn't have that. And I wasn't sure what to do this morning, but anyway, it worked out for the best. I have water. I thank the good Lord 1,000 times, and definitely thank my son Matthew, for helping. But if it wasn't for Matt, I definitely wouldn't have water right now. But so, yeah, I mean, kind of the point of this video, sometimes we feel overwhelmed about things because we don't know. It's almost like I didn't know what to know because I've never dealt with it. It's like the unknowing. I never had dealt with it on my own before. Now it's kind of time I put my big girl pants on and deal with it. And so, and I got it done, but it first felt overwhelming. I first felt a little stressed about it this morning, like, what am I going to do, y'all? And then, well, I took care of it. And the situation got resolved. And things wasn't as bad as I thought they was going to be. When I was sitting 7:30, having that cup of coffee, thinking, what am I going to do? Why me? Why me this morning? You know, I was doing the pie in my head, poor pitiful me act in my head, you know, like, why did this have to happen this morning? I just want to take Caleb to the dentist. That's all I wanted to do. So I guess in my own little head, I kind of, you know, thought, why did I have to wake up and this happen? But later in the day, it all got resolved so easily. So, I mean, even though the point of the story, even though we stress out about something and we feel overwhelmed about it, sometimes it can be fixed easier than we think. Just, we kind of stress out about the unknowing, something we don't know what we're going to deal with. And maybe we feel like we don't know how to deal with it because other people in our lives, like my dad, Michael, they're always the one that had dealt with it. So this was my first time having to make the decisions on, do I call the plumber? What do I do? You know. And hey, but it all got dealt with completely different than I was thinking, though, when I was having that cup of coffee this morning. So everything turned out completely different than I had in my head. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to be without water 2 or 3 days? You know, it was all just me thinking. But it all turned out for the best. Everything was, you know, happened wonderfully. Again, Caleb got a great dentist appointment. No cavities, you know. He just had a cleaning today, so. But, yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that with y'all about my day. And according to the weather, here in Kentucky, for Saturday, and trust me, y'all get the videos, because we don't have this kind of weather here. We don't have this kind of snow. It may not even happen. I mean, of course, the weather, you know, you have local weather. Everybody does. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. So let's take it for a grain of salt right now. Let's just say they're right, though. According to them, Saturday and Sunday, I can't swear to tell for sure, but I think we're supposed to get 9 to 16 inches. No, I'm sorry. It was on the weather map. I'm trying to think exactly. They gave the range frame for both days. No, maybe it's 12. I'm thinking 6. I think it was around 12 to 13 for the lower area of snow accumulation, but could be up to 19 inches of snow, which that's a 1.5 feet, and that don't happen here. So y'all getting ready to see some bizarre Kentucky weather if it happens the way they say it's going to happen. My next video will be released tomorrow of what I was doing this weekend. I have some friends that came up. I don't want to go in much detail in this video because I kind of wanted it to be a separate video about what happened today. But over the weekend, I had some friends to visit. They're from Maine. And anyway, I'll let you know more about them in the next video. So if you're interested in my next video of what we done this weekend, they actually, a friend of mine, it was her and her husband, they're traveling right now. I'll go and get in more detail about that on my next video, but just to let you know the upcoming video of tomorrow. We was going to do a video together, but it was so cold outside, we couldn't get in a spot where we was wanting to do it at. So, but anyway, I do want to tell you about our time me and Caleb had with them. They also have a son that's a couple of years younger than Caleb, and all those boys is best friends now, I think. But anyway, that'll be tomorrow's video. But I would like to tell you about our weekend we all had together, and I'll put up a few pictures and stuff. The way the circumstances was at that moment, we just couldn't get a video. We wanted a video together. Me and my friend did. Me and her did, and Christina's her name. Me and Christina wanted to do a video together for our YouTubes. They have a YouTube channel, but it didn't work out like that. And some things don't work out like you want it to. But you want to say hi?
Hi.
And Teddy's saying hi.
Teddy.
Yes, Teddy. And so anyway, but they'll be on tomorrow's video. I just wanted to tell you about my frozen pipes today, what happened. And I was stressed, but I shouldn't have been. It's just kind of unknowing the unknown and not knowing what to think about it. You know, you had your mind set on a stressful, or what you thought was a stressful thing turned out to be not so bad after all. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I did enjoy making it for you. And y'all have a great night. See you on tomorrow's video. And again, tomorrow's video will be about my friends coming to visit, what kind of weekend we had. We had a great time too. We enjoyed it, our visit with each other. And anyway, see you on tomorrow's video. Have a great night, everybody. And keep your water dripping. Don't be a Kim. You've heard of the Karens. You know, don't be a Karen. Don't be a Kim. Drip your water tonight if you're, don't let them freeze. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye. Keep the water dripping.